Welcome, guys. Welcome. Sorry about my croaky voice. I've actually had the flu over the weekend, and I've still got a little bit, so hopefully we'll be okay as we sort of progress through this particular stream. We're going to be playing Galciv 4 yet again. We actually sort of did a bit of a slow burn into it in the last session a few days ago now. And today we're going to be just mainly playing gameplay. So that's sort of the plan. Again, thank you to StarDoc for sponsoring this stream. The game is currently, and I'll just go and show it here. The game is currently 50% off if you get it in the Steam Spring Sale, which is on only for the next few days as well. So there we go. Hi, Viper Dave. How are you going? Yeah, so apologies about the throat. It's going to be a little bit croaky. Not too sore, but just croaky. Anyway, so there are different specials on at the moment. So this is the main reason. There is actually a link down below in the description if you do want to grab the game from Steam. Yeah, Steam Spring Sale, 50% off, and that's really the reason for showing this, I guess, at this stage with the sponsorship. So anyway, let's get into the actual game today. We're just going to be mainly just doing gameplay. And again, I won't be sort of rushing through things too much. And if you've got any questions, please sing out. I'll just do a very, very quick summary of how we got here. So our actual faction is the Scorched Steel Eaters, which we are a ruthless robotic faction thriving in extreme heat, consuming humanoid adversaries to fuel their cybernetic expansion across the galaxy. This was a randomly generated faction that we created, that basically, which we did last time. And so there's different things. These are civilization abilities. They're genocidal, which... So massive advantage in conquering planets due to not caring in the least about collateral damage, can convert other species unfortunate enough to end up on their planets into living neural network batteries. So we end up with all these different sorts of things in through here. We end up with a less, like people don't want to deal with us. We have a -1 diplomacy bonus, -25% influence growth on all of our worlds, but plus 15% to soldiering. Nihilism has a cultural awareness increased by 10. We get extra deception, extra intimidation, less persuasion, and so we unlock different other things as well, like death camps and stuff like this. So it sort of changes the, I guess, the scope of the game. Hi, Hugh David, how are you going? Sorry, you got a bit of the flu. Yeah, it's been annoying actually. It's one of these flus that it's just makes all your bones and muscles really, really sore, which is very, very frustrating. So we're genocidal. We're also cybernetic. So it gives access to more powerful technologies and improvements for races that are not afraid to interface with superior technology. So we end up with all these different sort of cybernetic type techs and things like that. Don't know if cybernetic was really the right choice from us, because we are essentially using the Your citizens down through here, synthetic species. So we're not really cybernetic, but anyway, we'll just go with what we've got. We end up with a few extra techs back that way as well. So we don't require food or have any natural growth. Instead, your citizens are manufactured. We still will need food if we end up with other species living under our control. So we still may need it. We've got 11 food at the moment. Also don't suffer any approval penalty from pop pollution, overcrowding or reaching the population capacity. Now, to build our citizens, we need to manufacture them like we manufacture ships or like we manufacture buildings. We need to do that on our planets. And we do that using Durantium. And so we need to find Durantium fairly early on to start to get like a source of creating new citizens for our planets. So they don't just grow automatically. The phenotype is we're artificial, so meaning essentially that we don't require food. We're clever, rich, unlikable, but fast moving as well. So nihilism is our cultural focus. So that's pretty much just a bit of a summary of to where we are. We've only really started the game, just played one turn, and we're off just exploring things at the moment. So let's now just go and end our first turn. We're trying to get the universal translator, not for any great reason, just it happened to be there. We are building a settler. Now we've got to be careful with our settlers, because for every settler that we build, we then need to use a citizen. So we do need to get Durantium fairly early on. All right, so we've got different ships are now sort of moving off. This will now move off into this direction. I think I'll just manually control this one. I'm trying to sort of find out what's happening on these different worlds. This is Durantium here, so we definitely want to get this at some point. The Durantium would have to be done with a space, like, what are they called? A spaceport? I forget what they're called. Anyway, like a workshop in space is what we actually sort of do need. All right, we've got an event has occurred. So Furnace Prime Planet Report. At the cusp of a computational renaissance, our civilization orchestrates its next grand phase of synthetic evolution. Networks humming with the electric wisdom of untold eons, they prepare to assimilate revolutionary technologies into their very framework. Each node a nexus of potential, echoes with the primary promise of expansion. Poised to extend their consciousness across the galactic expanse. We forego flesh-bound limitations, their collective intellect, here, blah, blah, blah. So what do we need to do here? We can go to develop advanced neural nexus hubs to enhance collective intelligence and decision-making processes. So it places 4 neural nexi on the planet. Deploy quantum processors, so integrate quantum computing technologies to exponentially increase processing power and efficiency. Place a quantum processing unit on the planet. Others can be constructed on other core worlds, or establish autonomous fabricators. So create self-replicating fabricators to bolster construction and maintenance capabilities autonomously. So this is going to be fabrication. This is going to be research, and this one here, I don't know what that is. Actually, that looks like it's intelligence, doesn't it? That does as well. I think I'll just pick the first one. Hi, Goodney, how you going? So, saying I found you through Distant Worlds 2 videos. Here we are. So, I think we'll just construct that one. That one should then give us on Furnace Prime. It's these things here. Neural Nexus Complex. Oh, okay, this is now pushing. Do I want this? You know, I don't know if that's the one I would have wanted, to be honest. Oh, the intelligence has gone crazy on this one. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Yeah, we get the intelligence with the actual the yaw that are living on the planet. It's actually not bad at all. It's just chewing up areas which I had wanted for other things, and I can destroy them, but I don't want to do that because this isn't something we can build. I don't think it is. Yeah, that's the Durantium scanners. We will need that as well to get the Durantium at some point. All right, let's go back out and see where we are. There's more Durantium, that's good. There's no planets showing up in here. The next one we want to go across to now is this one over here. I'm just trying to find other planets we can settle. Those little starships that we see sort of just go through aren't really anything that we need to worry about. Move across that way just to see a little bit more. There is a dead star there. Alright, that's fine. Universal Translator has now been done. We'll just choose new tech. So these are 50% off, essentially, like the game is on Steam. So we've got these in through here. Defensive studies. This will allow us to build deflectors, point defense. You'll get better armor. This is a good one for us. Asteroid mining. We can see there's a fair few asteroids around us. And then galactic expansion protocols. Unlock the civilization screen that allows us to assign policies. That one, I think, is probably going to be the one that we want. So we'll go that way, I think. Just click on done. All right, next one. Another dead world. There is thulium in there. Oh, there's a world there. So this is an amazing world, a frozen world. So we've got a frozen world there with class 27. And we can see it's the only one that's actually there. Extremely cold even in the summer months, even colder than the mythical northern Michigan in the winter. Michigan, I think, is where Stardock is based. These low quality worlds can be still good colony targets if they have sufficient resource outputs. So that one looks to be the first one that we'll probably aim for. We do have thulium in through there as well. So we'll just keep on sort of zipping around, seeing what else we can find as we sort of move across. That's really our next candidate that we've got for that we would be wanting to do something with. With this settler, we're now 8 turns away with this settler, and I'm going to need to get Durantium before I do too much else. So I'm just going to go into the builder here, and I can rush this one. It's going to cost me 349 credits, but I'm just going to pop a constructor in there as well. The constructors are what I was thinking of before. So I need these to grab the Durantium. A probe would be useful though, another probe. I might go that way, I think. And we will buy this settler now. We're getting +5 income. This will, now a lot of what we build will depend on what we do with the income, and we'll have to sort of manage that. I'm not very good at doing that, to be honest, and it's one thing I've got to be better at with the game. So we're going to be rushing that one. Our production is poor here at this point in time. So the idle core world. So we've now built this this computational core. Now I build my population here, manufactured population. And we need Durantium for that one. We need 2 Durantium for every population that we get. So getting Durantium is going to be very, very important. Now we have a whole lot of other things we can now start to build. Round here we have a +2 to manufacturing. I was really hoping to use that for manufacturing there, unfortunately. It ended up coming at the worst possible spot, because that was really where I wanted to do this. We do have wealth up this way as well. We do have 3 to manufacturing, so I can actually place it there. So we've got ourselves a small core tap, small but efficient power extraction system that taps directly into the Earth's molten core, or the planet's molten core. So this one here is maintenance is going to cost me 1, so the 5 will go to 4. Essentially, this is where I've got to be a bit careful. Pollution goes up, which doesn't worry us at all. We end up with 1 more mineral, so we've got 5 minerals planetary input. That'll go to 6 by doing that one. And then the adjacency bonuses, manufacturing goes up by 25% overall, pollution goes up, yeah, and then we get with a +1 to manufacturing, +1 to military in around it. Next one we have is the maintenance complex. This is this one here is approval, which doesn't really worry us all that much. Then we've got the planetary treasury. Gives us gross income goes up by 10%. Oh, sorry, 25%, but +10 per bonus. If I click on that one or start to drag it across, we can see we've got a few in here that actually that are enhanced. That one there would be sort of a good one for that one there. We've then got the social matrix. This is a synthetic interface that binds minds into a seamless network for social awareness. Don't think I'll worry about that one. This one here is a multi-core beacon. This one's going to take way too long, so I'm not going to worry about that one. 56 turns. Then we have the Durantium scanner. It's got a sensor range that goes out. Sensor range +3. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that one. Then we've got the interrogation machine. Place it near population centers to extract knowledge from our people. Research goes up by 5% and 10% per level. It does give a boost to population and to research. Population's not really going to impact us that much. Death camp. This one here, manufacturing. Upon construction, supplies several ruined Taurians who will be worked to death. So this one then does give us an extra population of three slaves. Manufacturing goes up by 8%. And then the adjacent bonus per level is manufacturing by another 4%. And then +2 to manufacturing for the manufacturing through there. We also then have the manufacturing district, which we're going to be able to put a lot of them in around the place. So I'll be wanting to put mainly them in through this little area. And in fact, we could just go that way because these don't cost anything. Everything else costs maintenance except for these. And so these give us a manufacturing of 3% with 2% like per level. So if I go and place it, I've got like a 5 there. But would it be better to, instead of getting that one, go with one of these? 8 and 4, which gives me you know, a big total there, manufacturing of nearly 20%, 28%. And then I get +2 level to bonus. I get other bonuses in then around that one. This one as well, 25% manufacturing with bonus per level is minerals actually. So that would give me another 5 minerals. What that would then do is it would actually give me a 1% per level. That's minerals percent. I thought it was actually minerals plus 1%. It's not going to be enough. Yeah, so the minerals of plus 1%. That there is better, I think, at that location. Let's just go there for now. Just to get our manufacturing up as much as we can. So Goodney is saying, do you think GalCiv 4 is better than Endless Space 2? I own Endless Space 2 with all the DLCs, wondering if there's any reason to buy GalCiv 4 on Steam sale if they are similar. I don't like this Endless Space 2, to be honest. I just I've never warmed to it. I've never liked the way that they've handled their auto battler, and even though excuse me, sorry, I do have the flu at the moment. So even though they both have an auto battle system, I just really find the Endless Space one very weak. For me, the Endless Space has got very, very nice graphics, but not very. I don't find the mechanics all that good. So personally, I don't play Endless Space. I haven't played that for many, many years. Yeah, it just doesn't warm to me, and I don't know why. I mean, I don't really know why, other than the auto battle. It annoys me. Hi, Kay Shizzle, how you going? And Reggie saying, "G'day, Daz. Good to catch you live." Yes, it's well, I've sort of much later than what I normally would be. I'm about 6 hours later, even longer. But I've just been sleeping a lot with this flu that I've got. So and I didn't go to work today, so I thought, oh well, I'll do this live stream and go from there. So anyway, we're going to have this. This is going to then bring 3 more Taurians to our world, which will be interesting to sort of see how they sort of then operate. Okay, we'll continue on. Select choose a region to improve. Yep, we've got this one in 5. Just click on done. I can rush those as well, but I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, unlocks the civilization screen, allows us to assign policies. Good. Okay, so now this is where we got to be careful with what we end up doing with our citizens. So boarding the SSE Settler 1 from Furnace Prime. And so these are the various citizens that we have. Now, I really wish it would show you what their skill set actually is. Does it show us? Oh, yeah, it does actually eventually. So these have all got, like social skills are all going to be very, very low. What we're really looking for here is the intelligence is all going to be pretty high for these guys because of what we've got set up on this world. And we will end up having these as scientists to a large degree, ultimately, on this world. And then we'll have to get other worlds to do more construction type things, I think. But intelligence in through here, it's more the diligence and the resolve. So if we have a look, if I press shift and then just go across to diligence, diligence modifies leader skills, so important for commanders and governors of manufacturing-based worlds. So diligence is important for workers and farmers. Now, workers is what we want on this world here. So, so that's diligence is going to be important. Resolve is good for soldiers, which is not all that important to us. So I don't want to be sending away high diligence units. There's a 3 there. There's a 5 there. These 2 here are already sort of set. That one's only got a diligence of 3. Either one of these would actually be okay. I could actually send this one because I can easily just change the others back to workers. I don't need them as citizens. Yeah, I might send this one off. I think we'll board you across. So he becomes the citizens aboard this other one. So we're now down to 4 citizens. Just click on done. And it may be that we just leave them as citizens at this stage. We'll have a bit of a play with that and just see how that one does actually work. We need to choose new tech. Weaponized probes. We've got data transmission protocols, allows instant communications across infinite. It's a flagship to your fleet. Okay, that would be useful now. And defensive studies again. Let's go with data transmission, I think. Although we might have a look and see where that actually sits in the grand scheme of things. If you just go to the tech navigator. So engineering, we need starbases. Science. Yeah, we've just unlocked that one through there. So we're going to be wanting to get the research districts. Weapons. We are now going to be moving through this range and through here. Defense. We need to sort of start this as well. These are both fairly important. Space doctrine will be important when we can get that one as well to get the frigates. Governance. Influence improvement. You know, I think I'm going to not bother with this one just yet. Just go back again. I just wanted to see where that was because it's going to then, if I can keep, actually I'll just show you why I don't really want to go to this governance one. If I unlock this one here, it then is going to unlock all of these as being randomly available in my list of technologies. And what I'd prefer to do at the moment is keep them fairly narrow. So if I just go back into these 50% offs, so if I pick that one through there, at the moment I've got all of these showing in through this other side. So the more I unlock that are in a line, the more I'm going to then have to deal with this. So if I go back into, for example, defensive studies, weaponized probes I know have got like a progression. So I've got a fairly big progression before they end up being further along. The defense is, I've also got this one, and I can get that one now and then wait for this one here. So I can still only have one more that's going to come in after it, and then it splits into 2. So either one of those I think is fine. I might just go, I might make defensive studies here. Yeah, we'll go that way. Click on done. So games sort of a 4X space games with in-depth ground combat as well as space. Yeah, that would be cool actually, wouldn't it? That would be cool. Hi Adrian, how you going? Saying good evening, my favourite streamer who calms me to sleep. Greetings from Germany. Well, welcome. And Stardagger is saying guten Abend. Here we are. I do apologise for my voice, it's a little bit croaky today. Now, that citizen is on board here. The SSE Settler 1. So we can have a look at this. That's a citizen that we sort of had placed on board there. So it's now just sitting in there. So this is Sylar Pyre. And we're going to move Sylar Pyre. There is actually a world here, which is not bad for us for Furnace Prime. We will be wanting to get that one. But I'm thinking we'll just go back this way. And, oh good, there's a lot of asteroids, which I wasn't sure if they would be there or not. We need to find more Durantium as well. But we need to find more settlement. Just figure out where things actually are. So Chebakev, that is, yep, that's the one we're going for. So we'll settle that particular world. Empty policy slot. Okay, so we've now opened up the civilization policies, which will then give us other bonuses as well. And so at the moment our tax rate is fairly low, but that's okay. It's more just about how much we actually are earning per turn. So we have extreme automation back in through here. This is so-called synthetic species such as ourselves have the ability to work together in ways. So this one gives manufacturing, but the income goes down by 20%. So we can swap income for manufacturing. Heart of the Empire is going to give influence growth is going to go up, and income is going to go up. Income is really one of the most important things initially. I mean, the production is as well. Land exploitation, so this one here, pollution goes up, but income goes up by +5. That will make it 10. That's actually really good for us because we don't care about pollution at all. Like, it really doesn't worry us. And remote piloting. So we end up with extra moves. So these are all very, very good. Heart of the Empire. Yeah, so 25% is only going to give us an extra 1. And I can put that in and show you what I mean, like with all of this stuff. If I go and throw that in there, so manufacturing at the moment is +6. If I go and put extreme automation in there, it's going to go up to 7. And this is going to go down to 3 or 3.3. So I don't want that. Heart of the Empire is going to give us a little bit of extra. This one here, we go up from 5 to 7. So we get a little bit extra in through there with the 25% gross income. The influence goes up as well, but that's often a good one if you're a meat bag, like, you know, a humanoid or something. Land exploitation is going to be the one where we get a lot of pollution, but the gross income goes up. In fact, in that case, it went up to 8.82. So the gross income itself went up, but so we're still that's still not too bad. 8.8, yeah, +9. That's 8.82. The other one was 7 point something. And then the remote piloting is just going to push the speed of our ships out a little bit. And that's also not bad. So what do I want? I thought it was just going to go on top of the actual number, but it's not really what we have. We've got the gross income there is 32.26. Taxes are 33%. The expenses are -5.5, which is giving us the... so we're taxing the actual amount there. If we can make people happier, so we can actually sort of raise our taxes up a little bit, and get a fair bit of money that way, but it's also then going to impact the other numbers as well. Like if I go all the way back there, I end up with no money, but I'm getting good production, and the research is good. If I go the further up I go, the more this drops. So if I go sort of, and they're not round numbers. They're sort of like just has a feeling of where it needs to be. But in this case, if I do use the land exploitation, we could really push that money up. It's now +13 because the taxation is coming up. It's 15. I'll just bring it back a little bit. It's fairly dramatic. That's a fairly dramatic increase that we see in there. If I do use the Heart of the Empire instead, so 13 is still not bad. Plus we get all of the influence as well, which will push our borders out. I'll bring it down about there somewhere. That'll do. Okay, I'll keep Heart of the Empire. So like I was saying, never apologise for your voice. There are a fair few people in through here that like it. So it's it is a bit croaky today. Oops. All right, so this is now moving off towards this particular area. I do need to get more scouts out just to sort of start to scout things a little bit more effectively. So the next one we've got is a scout ship coming, this probe. If I have a look and see, what's this one going to cost me? 300 credits for that one. It's a bit much at the moment. I'm just going to click on done. Hang on, that's... Oh yeah, there is just a probe there. That's okay. Don't know why that's so loud, that particular one. Anyway, let's continue on. So we've got that one still sort of doing what it's doing. A survey ship cautiously approaches the mysterious object, all sensors set to maximal gain. One of the universe's many secrets, perhaps a great danger or valuable treasure, will soon be revealed to us. And so what did we get there? An event, the Prospector. So your flagship has come across ancient plans for a semi-sentient AI designed to monitor and induce crime on planets. Implement the AI planetary monitor, reduce crime on a selected planet, sell the plans for a substantial amount of credits so we can get more money, extract resources from the discovery. So we can get 6 Illyrium and 8 precursor nanites from this instead of using the plans. That's actually not bad. By implementing these plans, you can significantly reduce crime rates, leading to a safer, more productive colony. Plus two precursor nanites, minus 5% crime to all worlds. Not sure which way we should go with this. I might do that actually, just for the fun of it. So if we have a look at there's automation, there's the bazaar. If we're not seeing it there, the artifacts, we don't have any artifacts, so that must have been applied to it, I guess. I'm not seeing it anywhere. Yeah, I'm not sure where it is. Not sure where it got to. Anyway, we'll continue on. So this ship is heading its way down. This one has now got close to this area. There's more gerantium. There's gerantium everywhere, actually, which is great. This one has got a poor world with food on it. All right, let's go out to this world next. More gerantium there. All right, we've got 2 gerantium. These are the sorts of things we do need to find. Alright, so we're coming 3rd at the moment for the innovation. That's alright, it doesn't really matter at this early stage where we end up. That's got nothing with it. A lot of asteroids, which is important for us as well. Alright, so we're getting in close now. So this is now not a core world. This is at the moment just a colony, which means it's feeding in all of its information. This one looks like it's a good research world, actually. So what we'll do is we need to make this into a core world. Assign a governor. So we'll do this one now. So we'll go back into the into our leaders. And we're going to, the governors that we actually have, we do actually have Chepikev 1 here, who is, this one will, at a 27 world, it's going to be a good one for us to build up. The it's a frozen world, which shouldn't really worry us too much. So we need to go back to recruitment and then find somebody that's going to be a good governor. So we've got things like intelligence. The intelligence will be important on this world, I think, but diligence as well. So we've got 2 that are good at diligence. But this one here, this one's not very loyal. So it does good. This one's got a bonus to production, but costs a lot more. I think this one here, Zephyr Inferno. So this one here is timid, minus 20% resistance. That shouldn't really worry us, I hope. But the diligence is okay. Yeah, intelligence is fine. Have a quick look at our ministers, just to see if there's anyone else that we'd prefer to have. Having such high diligence there is a good one. It's another 10-6, but I think I'll keep what I've got. Now we do have the Minister of Colonization. This is increased approval on all core worlds except our home world, based on the social skills of the assigned minister. So I think we'll look out for for some of these as well with high social skills, which they're not going to have because they're robots. So throw that one in there. Just click on done. So this one now becomes a core world, and we can now have a look at it and see what it's actually got. Oh wow, this is very good. Very, very good world. Interesting. Now we only have up to 3 population. We can improve our population here. We're going to have to construct them, of course, but we can actually improve our population there. So what we end up having on this particular world is we do actually have +3 to population there. Wow. All right. In that case, we have a core world capital. Now, what this one does is the population cap goes up by +1 per level, and the population cap also goes up by +1. So if I placed it there, we're then going to get a population cap of 7, which I think is ideal. So that's even without looking at anything else, that is definitely worth doing. That way we're going to be able to have more civilians ultimately on the world, and this is really where we want to start with everything. So just go and produce that one through there. That then that's an immediate build when we come back in, and we now have a population cap of 7. Now we still have to build them, or we have to build them with Durantium, so it's going to take a bit of time. Now we do have a bonus in around this one. We get +1 level to everything in around it. Other things that we would be wanting. We've got so many research districts and things we can build on this world. 3 to wealth, 3 to manufacturing, 3 to manufacturing there as well. That's the tap. Central hub. That's bonus per level, goes up by 5%. Manufacturing goes up by +1. Yeah, we get, that's going to give us, if the population cap goes up by +3 there. But it doesn't anywhere. So if I'm trying to get more population, what does it do? It's got an adjacency. This is central hub. Again, it's a bit like this core world capital. Highly efficient facility responsible for planetary infrastructure. You know, what I think I might just do is just start to pick up a few of the, like this one here is +3 to research. Eventually we're going to end up with like different research projects. That one there, the maintenance complex, does give us +1 level to manufacturing, which would allow me then to get more manufacturing back in through there. That's an approval process though, that one there. Planetary treasury, we are going to have to get something like that at some point. Yeah, that's all okay. What else have we got down this way? Durantium scanner. Interrogation machine, research goes up, and then the adjacency, the adjacency is +2 level to population, wow, and +1 to research. So if I go with that one there, I mean, I could make this into something quite big. If I went there, it's just not going to give me production, that's all. And I really do need to get production going. This is going to take a long time as well. You know, I might still just do it this way, I think. So it's 17 turns to get that one. We can do things with that one as well. Hi Kay Shizzle, how you going? Hi Invictus as well, and Clancy. So, I never know where to place the first structures. Too many options. Okay, maybe I should have explained that before I started doing this one. I'll just give myself a drink of water. Be right back. So, and Clancy's just saying, hey, Dads, what would you say is the most significant difference between Galaxy 3 and Galaxy 4? In terms of just the feel of it, well, the main thing is I just think it's much, I don't know, 3, oh God, it's a hard question, that one, actually, because they're similar, but then really Galaxy 4 has been more built like Galaxy 2, like it's sort of gone more back to that as a starting point. I just find it much more engaging, like heaps more than what 3 was. But I couldn't really put my finger on it, what it actually is, to be honest. My head's not really thinking all that straight today. But it is one of those things where it's it's something that I actually can't put my finger on what the difference actually is, except that it's a much cleaner game than Galaxy 3. Galaxy 3 I found a bit boring, whereas Galaxy 4 always feels engaging all the time. So Cornish Fishing Game saying, wow, what an obvious science planet. I really find a planet with that clear of a focus built into it. Yes, this was an easy one. Now, the question was to actually never know where to place your first structures. Really, it's going to be what's going to give me the most bang for buck. So in this case here, I've got this thing, and I'm looking at what I end up getting with the adjacency level bonuses. So I get a +1 level to research. In fact, that one may not be the best place for it, because this one gives me an adjacency level bonus of +2 to population, which makes that location there, if I did go and get, for example, this one here, which gives me the +3 population cap. Oh, that's not going to change it. Yes, it will. That will give me even more. They'll give me 3 by putting it there. So the reason I placed that there was mainly to enhance that one there. So you've got to know what your adjacency level bonuses are really with your buildings. Also be aware that most buildings are going to have a maintenance cost, and so you need to have enough money to pay for those. So I guess the way I tend to look at it is, if I could imagine anything with a bonus, I would imagine that those all just being science districts, which don't cost me anything, but they all end up leading to it being a bonus with research. You can see there it's actually, that's funny. The maintenance is one. There's a base effect there of 1 maintenance. I didn't think there was on these. There's none on those. It is on research. That's interesting. I didn't realise that before. I always just thought research districts were free, like basically, like all the other districts. Like all the other districts, the base effect doesn't have any maintenance cost. Like manufacturing, you can sort of end up with manufacturing all over the place. So this is really a research area. Like this is so we're looking at a research world essentially. But I was looking. My first step is to try to increase my my population cap, because the more civilians you have, the better off you're going to be doing different things. In fact, it may be better to just bring this one back as a citizen. So these are, because it will then do a bit of everything. But although I do need to build, so no, I will keep it as a worker. So so in that case, placement is really just comes down to sort of like, what the bonuses are. The bonuses per level are important to sort of see what they're going to be, and then the adjacency level bonuses. So with anything that does give me a boost to research, well, now that I know that that's an extra maintenance cost, that's a lot. Like that's a big amount actually. Hi Devon, how you going? And Castanar saying, try to determine what type of planet you want first, then get a capital in a location that will give bonuses for that type, and your manufacturing sources, your research. Yeah, so this is definitely a research world. Like we've got some big research abilities on this particular world, and the adjacency there. The adjacency with population is just too much there, but we don't have a really clear building that's going to help enormously. So it's sort of with this one, the adjacency of these ones do give other bonuses to research as well. So ultimately we'd end up with a really big core of research in around this thing. But I'm going to have to just wait, I think, until we sort of see, like if I start to drag them across. Like it's the science minister is suggesting that we go and do that one. You can see I get bonuses because I'm then next to other things. Like that one there is got an adjacency bonus as well. So ultimately, this one will cost me a lot to set up, but it will ultimately be worth it. Anyway, let's click on done there. I don't think I explained that very well. But anyway, that's what it is. I'm going to need to get this Durantium mined. We've got a fair bit of it, and we need a lot of it. There's 2 there that I'll be able to capture in one go. So we'll just go back across. This is our home world. And so, and even with the random placement of these have screwed up what I did want to do in this particular location. I was wanting to do manufacturing. So you can see I've got like manufacturing areas around this one. And with the buildings that we actually have, also the advisors will give you a bit of a clue as to what they want to do. The research advisor recommends building that one, but I no longer really need to do that. I've got some high level areas that I can sort of place that in there, but manufacturing really is what I need to be doing. And so I'm going to be placing these now. Well, probably out this way, I think. So I'll head out this way with this one and just start to get like the bonuses for manufacturing. So they do, they increase pollution, which doesn't worry us, but they also, most of our worlds will be manufacturing. And this one, our home world will now probably be predominantly manufacturing, I think, once we sort of get going with this. Just click on done. All right. Still 3 turns away. Let's just see if it's worth rushing this one yet. 148. Yeah, I will get it. It's just going to then mean that we end up with, and I will get a constructor next. Defensive studies. We've now got that one. Choose new tech. So weaponized probes and planetary substrates prepare our worlds for synthetic life. We've got housing districts, atmospheric cleanser, substrate amplification, summon a new citizen executive. I wonder what that one gives us. Under science. Okay, this one here, we can summon a new citizen using control. That's actually good for us, very good. So we can actually, without using Durantium. That is very good. We've got terraforming, approval, and population improvement. That there, getting the extra citizens is very, very nice. But then it opens up another 3, which I really don't want until I've sort of got my basics under control. So even though I'd love that, I think we'll go with weaponized probes. Okay, Planet Report, Warforged. A new group of weapon enthusiasts on Furnace Prime are beginning to become a problem. What started as a normal interest in our military has devolved into imitation and even fetishization. The group decorating themselves with cast-off equipment and military paraphernalia. This group believes that our empire will only survive if we adopt the mannerisms and traditions of the military, and now actively campaign on Furnace Prime for military expansion and even the start of military engagements. This movement and the violence it's beginning to incite worry our less radical citizens. So what are your orders? Why should I order anything? Allow the Warforged movement to take root on... So the Warforged is a movement that some of your citizens follow. They believe that war is inevitable and our place in the galaxy will be determined by success on the battlefield. Boosting your favour with them will increase the approval that your citizens... so if we use force, it's not something to be proud of, but an end to this movement. Now, this one gives us plus 10 approval for 25 months, and we get -1 Warforged citizen approval. But I want this for what we are. This is thematic. So sorry, Zimfi is in saying, aren't you streaming also on Twitch? I'm experimenting at the moment with streaming both on Twitch and on YouTube at the same time. But in this case, I'm just doing this one purely on YouTube. I'm going to start to do that more and more though, where I do both. But I thought I'd just do this on YouTube, just so I could focus on the YouTube chat. It's sort of, when I stream on Twitch, I find that I really favour the Twitch chat, just because it's handled so much better. So it's a better system as a streamer than what YouTube offers. And I haven't found a good one that I can plug into YouTube. But but yeah, so that's the reason I thought, look, I'll do this one just on YouTube rather than doing it on Twitch as well. So we'll go this way where we actually allow the Warforged movement to take root on Furnace Prime. So we'll go and do that. And I think if we look down here at our leaders and then go to factions, there's Warforged there. So we have prepare for war even if they need to ignore government regulations. So military. So this is actually like a group of citizens that are now. These are the factions that are on the actual like 3-hour empire. So Warforged, Free Mind Center, Natural League, and Endless Emporium. And we have a few different sorts of abilities. Like crime goes up. In this case, yeah, crime reduces the income of your colony. Yeah, that's okay. So that's your military. So this just gives different bonuses in through here as well. Anyway, let's just let that one go until that becomes a bit stronger. So Clancy's saying, I've yet to play 4. It looks like it's better than 3. Does micromanagement become an issue in mid-late game? No, that's one thing. That's one really good point. Actually, the difference between GalCiv 3 and GalCiv 4 is that anything that was micromanagement has been tried to be chopped out of the game. And so this is why we end up with core planets. And so everything is like, how do I sort of say this succinctly? But every game mechanic in this game is looked at with fresh eyes every so often to try to give it a to see, is that the best way we can actually do what we're doing. And this is really, really cool. The other good thing about GalCiv 4 is that it's actually got a permanent core of developers that are working on the game all the time. They're not working on anything else other than GalCiv 4. And so the goal is for this to become really, really substantially good. And so that they like quite often what happens is that they'll develop something up, they like the direction, they sort of move forward, get it established, and then they'll have another look at it and think, what's fun, what's not fun, how do we improve it? And so they keep on doing that all the time. And an example of that is, like if I go back into the leaders with the governors, if I can have, I'm not going to have too many planets that I've got governors on. I can put as many as I like, but there's a cost to bringing them in. So what that means is that all the other colonies that I end up getting are not something I have to micromanage. They just feed the other worlds. And this works extremely well. This is just one example. Like, so for example, this, and we'll be getting this one fairly soon, but Furnace Prime in through here is my capital. And actually we've got Furnace Prime 2. Did we take that one at some point? We must have. Yeah, we did. Okay. So what's actually happening in through here is that I didn't think we did. Yeah, but we must have done it. So in the previous session, I think. And so what we've got is Furnace Prime is our actual world, and you'll sort of see that the icons are showing manufacturing. If I just hover over this one, we've got manufacturing, research, income, influence, food, and then also the what's the last one? Control. So we're getting +2 control per month. Control is what we can then go and spend with other things as well. So with that, we then actually have other things that can then feed in to the basic resources. So if I go and click on Furnace Prime and open it up, what we can actually have a look through here is we've got the planetary inputs. And so this is the material input of 4.997 is coming into our planet to then make use of it. And in this case, we've got about 5. And you can see there we've got Furnace Prime is giving us +3. Furnace Prime 3 is adding nearly 2 to that. So how's that working? What's happening there is Furnace Prime 2 has got different set of, this is only a colony. It's only a low level, but you can see there it's got different parameters that then get fed across. There's a bit of rust over the distance, however long it has to go. If it's a short distance like this, it hardly loses anything. If it's a long distance, there'll be more and more, there'll be less materials actually reaching its home world. And in this case, we're getting the two extra from there. We're also getting extra in terms of research. We're getting a lot of income from this particular world. And so it works a little bit like the way that asteroids work as well. Asteroids do the same sort of thing. And so you can end up with a lot of these colony worlds where you need to have one colonist to go and set them up. But they're not core worlds. They don't build anything more than just having the one person on them. They can still be taken over. They're still important, but they mainly feed the actual core world itself. So there's another world over here, for example, which has got another 2 minerals there. It's a poor world. It's mountainous. It doesn't have much else really going for it. If I get that one and feed that one back into Furnace Prime as well, it's going to help a little bit, but the rust factor will sort of kick in. It might give me 1 extra. So it's not really worth building a citizen to go and take that just yet, but maybe later on. All right, so we've got that one through there. We've got the probe. Now this probe, I do want to just go back. Like usually if there's 1 Durantium, there'll be 2. So I want to see if I can find more. We're finding sort of dead worlds out through here as well. Some of the worlds will have gigamass, which you can then sort of, this is actually another resource we can use later on for the megastructures. Okay, we do have a world here. This is a 22. It there, Boulder 2. You can see that it's got a fair bit of manufacturing at 3. So I probably want to take that one at some point. Let's go out to here. Again, you've got good asteroids around here. So Acacias are saying, well, the AI grab those low-quality planets just because it can. Well, they need to have a population to do it. So they possibly will if they can, but only when they can really afford to do so. I mean, it's going to be a bit of a scramble to find good quality, good quality planets initially. Whoops, I didn't mean to send that one off that way. Get that one up there. All right, so here we go. The Prospector. Our survey team has discovered fragments of an ancient Arnorian warning beacon drifting amongst debris. Those scattered pieces might still hold clues. So reconstruct the beacon, salvage the tech, or sell the fragments. That's a lot. Don't know what this one will do. Let's just go for these sorts of decisions here. Spare no expense to repair the device and learn its secrets. Let's just go that way. I don't know what. There's a lot more with the new DLC, the Tales of the Arnor. There's a lot more events that are now in the game as well. Yeah, I really need to find extra Durantium there if I could have. It doesn't look like there's only 1 there. Weaponized probes. Okay, we'll go back across. We've got space weapons, evasive tactics, or artificial gravity. I've got asteroid mining that I would like to get. I'll go space weapons. I think we're still a little way off with weapons. Yeah, I've still got 1 more after that. It's all right. It has chosen that one for us. Can't quite see the planet itself. Alright, so we've got a couple of fighters. Now these will, if we can put these just on our planet, that will just help just secure the planet a little bit better as well. So with the fighters, I'm just going to place them. There should be 2 of them. I'll just have them in orbit around the actual, there's 3 there. Oh, there's 4. Didn't realise we'd have so many. Who we got? 5. There's 5 of them. Wow. Okay. If they operate from within the planet itself, they ultimately get bonuses in combat. I think I might send the others off just to patrol this planet. So they'll move off that way. Just a couple of fighters to sort of just house that particular one. Space weapons now. Choose new tech. Now the frigate is important. This is space doctrine. It does give us orbital bombardment. Then we're getting back into here as well. I'm going to be wanting to get more citizens, but space doctrine is a good one for us. Asteroid mining I really want, but I'll go space doctrine to get the frigates. The frigates are sort of like the first of the real spaceships. The fighters are okay, but they're just not, you know, the frigates are the ones that will then start to sort of house everything, really. So this one here, there's no planets in around this one. Oops, click on done. Ah, there's some Promethean. Some Illyrium. I haven't found any enemies at all yet. Lost cargo container. So your flagship comes across a drifting cargo container. Acquire the valuable goods to boost your economy. So we get plus 5% gross income for 50 months. You can see our money is going backwards a little bit just because of the maintenance. Now that we're starting to sort of pay on the worlds. The more I'm going to have to just go and start to get manufacturing areas just to boost the manufacturing for a little while, just so we're not really paying for too much. This looks interesting. What have we got there? Class 29, wow. That does look good. That one doesn't have much going for it. That's dead. That's dead as well. Well, that one there would be a good one for us to get. It's very central as well in the where everything actually is. Yeah, a lot of dead worlds there. And clicking on this just to check and see if there's any planets that show up in the bottom there, which it's not. Still looking for Durantium. Space doctrine. So we've now got the frigates. Now this one unlocks starports for our planets. I'm going to get to the point where I'm now starting to really going to be pushing a lot of these things further out. Yeah, so I'm really wanting this one now. Science. I'd like to get research districts. Actually, no, we don't have that one. Get the technological capital, which would be awesome for us. Weapon systems is then going to open up a lot of stuff. Defense. Yeah, then we open up only 2 of them there. Logistics. This is an important one, actually. I think I'm going to go this way, even though it unlocks 3 others after it. It does allow planetary invasion and these sorts of things, which we wanted to get at some stage. I mean, this one we've sort of missed out on, but I'll just leave that one where that is. I think I'll go back. And we'll go this way. That will enhance what we end up having. Now, is there any other Durantium over here? The geranium is very, very important to us. Okay, so what did we get up to in the comments there? If you want some free XP for fighters, just group with the survey ship. Oh, okay, that's a good idea. It's they may slow the survey ship down. I'll just leave it where it is, where they're on the planets, just to help control the planets. Stardagger saying the Master of Orion is watching his grandkids from the nursing home. There we. All right, so we've got another one of these available now. These civilization policies. We've got a few more that have been unlocked in the meantime. Now, the gross income going down by 20. What's that going to do? It's only going to give me. It's going to getting rid of that one. Changes. It only makes that one go up by 1. Land exploitation. Prototype defenses. This is useful once we get started. Remote piloting. Should move a shipyard in through this one here. That one's for us to then be able to build ships and starship specifications. Hit points goes up. That's another good one for us to get ultimately. This one here. Really, manufacturing is really the key for us at this early stage. Although that one wouldn't be bad as well. Yeah, that really does enhance us a lot. So let's go that way. The land exploitation. So we'll go and do that. I'll place that one there. Okay. So back in here. Just back on our home world again. Now we do actually have the Taurians are growing. They're filling us up. We've got all these slave Taurians because they came with the slave matrix, but they are actually they've been growing, which is actually okay. I may even be able to use them as actual settlers. So we may be able to sort of do something with them. We've got our robots, but we've also then got these as well. So, all right, so what we want to build in here is, again, I'd prefer not to be doing too much with this. So I'm thinking we just go back with this again. And just get more manufacturing. And I'll get a few of these in around these locations. Just get the manufacturing up. Are they still moving off? Yeah, I really need to get the asteroid mining. Yeah, so it's wanting us to colonise Grumium 3, which I will do. How far off are we here? We're still 8 turns away. Got good income now. 476. I think we might buy this. So we're not going to have much money, but we've got good income. Let's go and grab another settler ship. Click on done. Okay, so this is embark on a journey through the stars, the top 5 galaxies with the most colonised world. So we're coming 3rd at this point in time. That's okay. We don't know we don't know which of the enemies we've got in with us in this particular location. All right, this constructor. Now, you can see that we've got geranium there. Only one geranium there. Let's just see if we can actually spot if there's any more. Nope, that's it. There is thulium there. Geranium is by far the most important one for us. There's one Durantium there, Promethium back over that way. This is our best Durantium mining operation. So we'll head that way with the constructor. Now we're sort of towards the edge of the galaxy here. I'm just going to tell this one to start to auto-explore, I think. It would just go off and start to look in the far-flung reaches of space and hopefully find other resources out that way as well. So, Chepikov planet report. We've come across an ancient artifact near Chepikov 1, believed to have come from an ancient precursor civilization. Upon activating, it has evaluated our status and offers to aid us. We can rebuild it as a ship. Unlock the nail ship in your shipyard. Progressivism, cultural awareness increased by 3. Now, when I've got these things, progressivism works for us because that's sort of like a robotic type thing. Converted to an army of synthetic citizens. We gain a your citizen, so egalitarianism is not really what we're about. Study the artifact, so progressivism increases to 3. Cultural progressive increases to 3 plus 1 technology. Unlock the nail ship in your shipyard. I've got no idea what the nail ship actually is. I think I'll actually just get plus 1 technology. Just go that way. Choose new tech. This logistics is important for us once we start to sort of build things up. Again, I really want the asteroid mining. I might just have to go back and get it. I'll go this way as well, just get a flagship initially. This is good. We should end up with some antimatter there, which would be good for missiles. Around that black hole. Just cutting our way through the galaxy at this stage. Oh, there's more Durantium. Alright, so we end up with another flagship. Emissaries. Improve our capabilities and allow us to recruit more commanders. This is good for us in the sense that we can, if I just click on done for now, like it's going to go, it's wanting to do weapon systems at this stage, but evasive tactics, give us evasion. I think I might grab asteroid mining now. But if I go to, it may be worth getting commanders. If we have a bit of a look to see with the leaders and our commanders back in through here, we've got 3 ships available to us at this point in time. These require machine councils, tech required. Yep, no, that's okay. No, we don't get anything extra through there. So this is these are fighters, a small fighter. Increased hit points based on the commander's diligence. This one here bears the scars and battle marks of hundreds of battles. So this one has got a 11 moves. It's not super strong. The conquest rating is good. So if it comes in as a support with another with an invasion fleet, it actually works fairly well. This is a frigate size hull. Initially, we're going to be needing to actually do damage to other fleets more so than invasion. So this one is more helps with invasions. This one here is more just it's just a strong ship. Yeah, it's not super strong though. Kinetic attack, which means it's a very short range. And this one here is a cruiser that goes in with the fleets. Herald of Ruin. So this one here gives what does it do? It's good for everything actually. Good hit points. What's the hit points there? 8. +2 fleet moves, increased hit points based on the commander's diligence. Yeah, that's, I mean, it's always got the hit points and the attack. What about recruitment? What have we got? We don't have much money anymore. There's some good ones. Some good ones there. Anyway, we'll just click on done. We need to get the money back. Now what do we get up to? Sorry, I'm missing a lot of the comments here. So we're saying, what on earth? It's 0008. What's that? I'm not sure where you're seeing that. Where are you seeing that? Is it on the screen somewhere? It's 10 a.m. basically for where I am at the moment, so it's fairly good. Got to go to bed, but I'll catch the VOD. Have a nice night. Thanks for that, Wiggly. Pally is saying, I'm looking for a really good space game. Where should I start? Stellaris, Galactic Civilizations, Endless Space 2, Sins of Solar Empire 2. Okay, it sort of comes down to really what you're looking for in a space sim. And look, this is a sponsored stream, so I really can't go into too much detail about other games. The main one that I get asked for is basically like the difference between, say, Stellaris and this, and Distant Worlds. Like the three of those are the main ones. I got asked before about Endless Space 2. I personally don't really like Endless Space 2, so it's not really a big one. Sins of a Solar Empire is quite different. It plays in a much more compressed sort of way. It's actually very, very succinct in it's not really a grand strategy type game in the sense that the others actually are. It's got a very, very good pacing. It's sort of hard to really sort of gauge, but like pretty much all of the ones that you're mentioning are all like board game style games. Like they're all sort of like they all have like a board game feel about them. So I guess if that's what you're looking for, it's a hard one to actually sort of advise. My favourite Space 4Xs are Gal Civ 4 and Distant Worlds. Distant Worlds 2, they're the two ones that I really, really enjoy. Stellaris I haven't played for a long time just because there's just too much DLC. So Zimfi is saying the most complicated is Stellaris because of all the DLC. I like something with good diplomacy and good space battles if I wanted to go that route. Diplomacy. Diplomacy in this one is easy, but it is fairly constrained. Space battles in this one are auto battlers, so and Stellaris is as well, pretty much. So these are not ones where you're actually playing the battle out. That will be changing to a degree, though. This game has been updated a little bit in recent times to try to make that more engaging, and we'll be getting a lot more attention in the coming months as well to actually make it so that it really, really sort of stands out. We haven't got anything I can show you a battle with in this instance at this point in time to sort of go through and sort of show space combat. But space combat in this game is fairly... it used to be very, very much just rock, paper, scissors, the way it was sort of structured, but now it's a bit more refined than that. But it's I like this game. I like the space battles in this game, even though it's an auto battler. It's pretty cool. Anyway, Stardagger is saying you spend more time not able to do what you want in Stellaris than doing what you want. Saying Gal Civ, I like the culture frac. I like to culture frac them. Yeah, there's lots of different ways to play Gal Civ. I find Gal Civ just with so much scope in it, like the way that it plays. Like, and we're playing sort of like a very aggressive faction at the moment. There's more Gerantium. Sorry, I'll just move that one back out again. Still no planets around here. Might set this one to auto now as well, just to auto explore its way through. I found more thulium, a dead world out there. So just sort of slowly exploring this part of the galaxy. There's another section of the galaxy. We don't know exactly where it is, so we're just in this little section in here at this point in time. And so we'll just have to take this sector. Actually, is that Dringot? I'm not sure if that's sort of showing. We don't know what else is in here, actually. So no, we should be okay. We'll just keep on moving through. Got another one of these now. This military, I think we might get that one now. And just start the process of building ships. Get our fleet sort of established. Still very early days yet. Alright, so this is another prospector, which we can set this one off to just go off and do its auto survey. It will then just look for artifacts. Alright, so this one here, I can get the 2 Durantium with this one by creating a starbase. So consume a constructor module to build a starbase at this location. I don't think there's anything else I would want to get other than those 2. There's nothing much else there. I'm happy enough with that location. And in this case we want a mining starbase. This is our first Durantium mine. And we'll need a lot of these, playing as the synthetics. Alright, that's fine. People have built permanent structures in space before, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so we end up with getting 0.1 Durantium per turn. We can get mining drones, which will then increase that by... we've got the modules that we have. We've got 3 modules at the moment. So I can get the mining drones. I'll just go and do that, which now gives me 0.2 with both of those Durantium, so 0.4 in total. And so we haven't got any defences on this thing at this stage. I won't put them on until we sort of start to see threats. So I'll just keep them where they are. So we've just got the mining starbase plus the mining drones. Just click on done. And so it's now mining those 2 locations. There's a... so they will then get fed in, and we'll end up starting to get Durantium in through here. Now with those 2 Durantium, that's going to allow me to build another citizen on one of our locations. So maybe back over here, if we wanted to. So we've still got 3 turns before this interrogation machine is done. So I can actually now go and get manufactured population. Yeah, I might throw that in there, I think. So it's going to take way too long. Let's not do that in that case. Just let them sort of do what they're going to do. Venus Prime, okay, so with the rapid expansion of our dominion, encompassing myriad new worlds, our home world finds itself grappling with escalating political tensions. Diverse ideologies clash as long-standing traditions and governance. So what do we have to do? Engage in open. So this is plus 10 approval for all units for 12 months. Implement. So we end up to totalitarianism, increased by 3. It's nihilism is the one that we want. And we've got reforms. Could ultimately strengthen our... culture points would be good. I'm going to grab that. So culture, I've actually got cultural progression. I can actually go and get one of these. Now nihilism we have a bonus with. The ideology discount here is 35%. Progressivism is only 3%. It depends on the population that we actually have. We don't have any of the others. Progressivism a little bit. Nihilism is our main one. So we'll start with nihilism. We've got detached, so we get 3 free supply ships, 10% income on all of our worlds. So we'll just go that way. So we'll go yes. So that's, and then the next ones we're going to get is realism. So alien civs will value your trades by 50% more. So we probably really don't need that one so much. Criminal ties, unlocks crime wave, executive order. Neither of those are really all that important to me, to be honest. But I'll just leave that one where that is. Let's click on done. So we end up with some supply ships now, and these will then can be used to push the production on worlds. So what these do is they deliver 100 stored goods to a target world. And so in this case we are building, what are we building in here? We're just building these, which don't cost us all that much. I think I'm going to send them down to the other world. To Chebenev. Is it Chebichev? Chebichev is the name of this one. It's only 3 turns we get this. These are only 50 construction. That one also gives, yeah, the research goes up, adjacency level bonuses to research as well. It's 200 to cost, 200 to build that one though. The neural matrix, intelligence goes up by +2. Research, and then we get plus, yeah, this one does cost Urantium. So what does it do? Yeah, research goes up mildly. It's more just the level to research, and it doesn't cost anything other than Urantium to build that one. I've got a fair few things I can build. I'm going to be wanting to get manufacturing. I think we'll go this way. Oops, wrong one. I'll just get a little bit more manufacturing out this other side. That will then just help those guys there. So if we do that one, I want to get rid of that. There we are. That will then feed in the manufacturing. So we'll end up with a bit of a manufacturing core to this particular planet. And I'll send all 3 ships down to feed in the actual, to what was happening there. So just to explain what that is that these are costing me 50 construction per building. For those supply ships, I end up with 100 construction, essentially, 100 supplies coming in. So I can use those ships to seed that building. So I can move them down. Hang on, I'll just get it here. So they'll then sort of help with the construction. So we've got 3 of those. We'll move that one across. All right, the celestial shard, a floating crystal of immense size and unknown origin, drifts in space. So we can get a charge for the artifacts of the celestial shard or harvest it. Now the money is more important to me than anything at this stage, so I'm not going to go across and grab that. That's going to give me enough money then to start to push other things. Like we've still got 3 turns for the settler. I'll let them build. Just try to keep a bit of the money itself. So just surveying automatically. So all the survey ships are now moving down. Survey ships, what are they called? Supply ships. Okay, so we've got the settler. Now, I'm going to probably just use one of these Taurians, I think. And I want reasonable diligence. That one there's the best one. So we've got, this is our slaves. And that settler, we're going to go off to this world here, which is a class 22. Oh, hang on, it says Grumium 3. Where's Grumium 3? That one we can just get there. Yeah, we'll go all the way out. So we'll see if we can get there. Now we should start to find pirates and things will start to target us a little bit, and we don't really have a real good vision around these ships, so we're just going to have to sort of hope that we do okay there. I'll get... what should I get next? Sorry about the sound on this. I don't know why this is so loud. I'll just move it off there for a second. Just think about what we want. one geranium there, but there's thulium and geranium. There's only geranium there. Thulium and geranium back out this way as well. One geranium there. Well, I can get doubles with these, so I'll go back and get another construction ship. So David is saying, are they going to do a second expansion pass of the game? I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. So, but I'm going to purchase Galaxy 4 and give it a go tonight. It's downloading now. Oh, there we go. It's yeah, we've got 50% off at the moment. So now's a good time with the spring sale. So so yeah, there's different ways of playing the game as well. Maybe I should sort of show again. Like what we are playing and how we got to where we are with the group that we are. What we're playing here is not the easiest way to play the game. Like there is, if you sort of play with one of the preset factions or with a humanoid type faction, is quite different than playing it with robots. But with the artificial life, we do actually have some, I guess, some issues where we just need to keep on getting more and more resources to then feed our empire. Although the Taurians are actually growing fairly well, which is good. We'll just let them continue on. But yeah, let me know if you want to sort of see the setups of the game, like how to get started, stuff like that. I mean, in this case, we haven't really come across anything yet in the game. Asteroid mining, there we go. So we now got the asteroid mining was one that we just had to go and get. This one here, I will actually go and get that one as well. I've been wanting that one for a little while. All right, so here we have the asteroid miner. Now, what I really need to be doing here is making sure that I'm getting the ones that are close initially. So we build asteroids. So we build an asteroid mine in there. They will then feed into our main world. And so these will then give us more. Like we'll end up with a lot more income now coming back in. And so the actual the mineral input, we've got Furnace Prime is providing 3. We're now getting 2.5 coming in from the mined asteroids, and then 2 from Furnace Prime. So that's the input we're getting into the actual main world through these different asteroids. So we're getting a lot from the asteroids. I might as well get this as well, and I'm thinking I might. The geranium is it's just sort of stuck out on its own, unfortunately. But getting the asteroids there would be good. So I might go in and build get a couple more of the mining ships. So I'll grab maybe another 3 or 4 of those. All right, there we are. So we've got income in through here now. We've got geranium coming in, 4 per turn, 0.4 per turn coming in for that one through there. Other things we don't really have. Okay, a celestial anomaly, an orb cracked open, pulsing. Yeah, okay, secure the artifact for research. So this is the fractured singularity is brought into containment. So scientists believe it may be a fragment of an ancient gravitational weapon, or harvested there. More money for our treasury. Ooh. I'll show you the way this one works. So secure the artifact for research. What that then shows is it comes down here into the vault, and the vault will then have this thing through here. This one here is a compressed anomaly that grants staggering offensive might at the risk of distorting space around its users. So +3 weapon attack, -1 moves. Target fleet must have weapons. And so this actually is then applied to a fleet if we use it. So if it's a one-time use. So when we get something powerful enough, we'll then go and make use of that as a very, very powerful addition to a fleet. Again, just going to hope that we don't see any pirates coming in. Now we're coming last now. Top 5 most populous. Yeah, so we're losing population. We're not building enough. Choose new tech. Starbase modules provides 2 free constructors. That's very important for us. So we'll go that way. Okay, a flagship has stumbled across a curious sight, a drifting precursor cargo container. An intense sense of excitement fills the bridge as we approach. Initial scans indicate that the container has an advanced particle beam, which is remarkably small, even if not particularly powerful. The component is filled with a high concentration of promethium. So send the component to our shipyards. The component will be available to our next flagship design. Or extract the promethium, we get 3 promethium, or sell a lot, 600 treasury. We're not seeing too much promethium, but I think I'm still going to go that way. Promethium can be really useful. Gee, which way? Which way? Which way? We don't have any promethium at the moment. I'll go that way. Just get the promethium. We've only found a few promethium on the map. Got one antimatter there. There's no other antimatter that we could see there. There's one promethium there. There's antimatter there as well. Got Illyrium in that way. But we're not seeing the others. Alright. Starbase modules, so we can now build these. Choose new tech. Orbital mines, we'll keep on getting anything that can give us more manufacturing. Just grab that one. One thing we haven't looked at for a little while is what we can build with the planet. Oh, here we go. We can actually now do terraforming as well. So we've got things like in the middle here, which would be good. Substrate amplification, enhances planetary crust to expand viable settlement space. That's a good place in there, I think. What else do we have? That's good in there too. Yeah, we've got a lot of different things we can build now. Grab one of those. I think we'll do it. Yeah, so with Furnace Prime, I do actually now have 2. I've got the Atmospheric Cleanser. Now, I don't care about pollution. So pollution just doesn't worry me. That's all I can really build as an orbital there. Furnace Prime has got 3 slots. And again, just the Atmospheric Cleanser is the only thing we have unlocked at this stage. Okay, so the next constructor, we want that to go down to, we've got a thulium there. I'd like to get like multiples if I can. I think I'll send it back this way. Other constructors, we've got another one that's thulium and durantium over here. Okay, Clancy's saying one thing I didn't like about 3 was it felt that it had many civ abilities and traits that didn't matter enough throughout the game, mostly flat bonuses that only mattered at the beginning. Yeah, again, what they've done with 4 is that like there's so much of the stuff is tied into different things. Now we're getting a lot of. One thing I'm noticing in this particular playthrough is we've got a hell of a lot of different building options that we actually have, which is too many. And that's because of what we chose. If I had just kept something nice and simple like humans, it would have actually been a lot simpler. Just click on understood. I'm concerned that we haven't really come across any other enemies yet. I mean, we just got to keep on trying to build up at this point in time. Still early days. We've got Mordred 2. Where's that? Oh, 2 worlds here. 23. And a 42. Wow. Right, well, this changes things. This is unbelievable. It's a paradise world. So we've got two really, really good worlds here. In fact, there's another one over here as well. 26. This one does require precursor studies to be able to get that one through there. So we can't actually do that one. That's a world thought to have been used by the precursors for dangerous experimentation. But this little collection in here, it's got uranium as well. I may be able to squeeze out another. Like once we get this will then improve our range. So we need to come back into here actually. We've got a constructor coming in next. We need to get a settler and move that back through the list. And we need to get another one there as well. All right. So. Yeah, so this has now all been done very, very quickly because we sent those all that supply to this particular location. Now that is our core world capital. I'm going to go and grab this one as well. We can get that almost immediately because we've still got leftovers. So we'll just click on done there. So it's now been set up. All these different things we can build. Crime is not really big on this world anyway, so we don't need things like the precursor security monitor. This is not really going to be important to us. The coordination beacon is influence growth, not really something we need. Central hub. Gross income is we're not really using that either. This one here we're getting extra minerals of 1%, but we've only got one mineral coming in. This is going to really severely damage what we can do at this world. So this is why we need to get the other bits and pieces in here, because the actual manufacturing here is going to be fairly weak. It really does come down to research, I think, this particular world. So let's go for more enhancement of research. The neural matrix. We're going to get a technological capital at some point, and that will, I'm thinking of putting that right in the middle here. If I go and get the neural matrix, I'll throw that in there. Or I could place it there if I had to. Oh, it's not fantastic, unfortunately. It's a uranium scanner. This one doesn't. This one just gives a boost to its outside, but it doesn't give any actual. It doesn't have a boost for itself. Like even though if I put it there, I'm not getting anything more than if I put it there. Like in terms of there's no. The other ones have got like a. If I go back to this neural matrix, you can see there's bonus per level. So if I go there, it's going to be 4%. If I go there, it's going to be 2%. But it will boost this other one. This will go to, and so the more I can boost this one, the better. So I am going to put that one back in there. That's going to then boost this one up to 40% research. So research will really start to push up. Okay, I'll click on done. Here we go. So, Junanad saying, sorry if it's been asked before, but have there been any huge differences between GALCIV 4 and GALCIV 3? Is it worth the price? Should I just buy more GALCIV 3 DLC? I wouldn't. personally. There is a lot of changes. We had this question before, but I couldn't really sort of give a definitive reason to get 4, other than the fact that it's it's been a long time since I've actually played with 3. 3 I found fairly boring, and it also became cumbersome with what you had to then go and do with the game. 4 really has been built from the ground back up again, and it's really started with GalCiv 2, so it's much more like GalCiv 2, and as a spiritual successor to it. And the reason that's important is because it's got more of a focus on combat. It's got more of a focus on getting rid of micromanagement. So it does a lot of really good things like this. But the lack of micromanagement, for example, and also it's got much more scope with the way you can play the game. I should go back and have a look at GalCiv 3 again, because it's sort of a game that I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. Whereas GalCiv 4 I absolutely love. It's I find it, and it's just the overall feel of it. Even though it looks similar, what I might do is I might show. I'll just save where I am, and I'll just go and sort of show you the start, because I think that will give you a bit of an idea as to what it actually sort of does have. What did we get up to? So Biohazard saying, Daz mentioned he found GalCiv 3 a bit boring, and that GalCiv 4 is much more engaging for him, but he can't put a finger on why. I didn't find GalCiv 4 boring, but I do enjoy 4 more. I like 2 as well. Yeah, it's more designed from 2. Now, the way we sort of went through a bit of a deep dive last session, actually, going through the how it was developed. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just go back out into the main menu. This will give you a bit of a feel for just the scope, or how the scope of this game is so much better and bigger. So if I go into, and so this one does have a whole lot of different DLCs. You probably could, you can play it without having the DLCs to see if you like it really, and the DLCs just add more content. There is a Warlords one which does add a lot of nuance to the actual combat, which GalCiv 3 just doesn't have. But overall, if I go into a new game, and it does have the ability, like of all the civilizations that I've actually got in here, like these are all of the civilizations here were the GalCiv 3 civilizations essentially, which have been enhanced further for GalCiv 4. But then you can build your own as well, and so the AI will help you build them. But if we go in and let's just play as, say, I'll show you if we build it like a human faction. I'll show you the scope that you can have with just a human faction. So if we go into here, for example, and go to custom civilization, and just start that process. There we go. So in this case, we need to give it uses AI to build this. If we just think of what we would like to actually have as a civilization, let's just say we're thinking of a diplomatic. What else would they be? Highly scientific. We can just put in anything we like. Diplomatic, highly scientific. Can't think of what else we'd sort of need with that, to be honest. Even if it was just that. Humanoids. It's just we can put anything you like in there. You don't have to come up with an actual description. It says short description, but really it's just keywords. And so in that point, if we go with, you can see that it's got different sorts of setups, and these are these things that we see on these 3 pages really do, like, this is so much better than what GalCiv 3 ever had. If we just click on generate, hang on, what do we need to do there? User not authenticated. I'm not sure what's happened there. I should be authenticated. Hang on, what's going on here? I'll just quit right out and see if it's if I need to somehow log back in. I'll just go back in again. So it's 50% off at the moment if you are wanting the game. This is a sponsored stream, as I said before. So we'll open her up again. See if we can get in there. It does have to generate using AI, it does need to go back in and be able to connect back to the server. I'm hoping that that's not a problem at this stage, because it is pretty cool what it actually does do. But we can have it, like, you can sort of almost give it any instruction that you like, and it will then try to build a civilization for you around your parameters. Let's see if it'll work. If we just go to new game, these are all ones that I've created just using the AI. But if I go into here, for example, and just type in diplomatic, humanoids. No, it's not doing it. It mustn't be able to connect in. But I can still show you the scope of what it does do. In fact, I can do it with some of the others that I've got. But if you go to the abilities, this is actually where this blew my mind when I first saw this, is that you've got these civilization abilities, and these dramatically impact the way that the game is played. And so you've got 40 of these, and you've got two combinations of them. So you've got like 40 times 40 really styles of play, and so these have got like ancient, for example, gets a research from precursor artifacts and anomalies. If we chose that one, that would sort of almost take that scientific side. And then we've got things like bureaucrats, cartographers. There's just so many of them that really enhance the way that you the way that things sort of work within the game. Like, there's different tech trees that get unlocked with this as well. There's so much bonuses with the way it works, and when you combine the two of them together, you end up with something really, really quite astounding. Xenophobic, it's just a range of things, and so you can have these as like randomize these to a certain degree. What I might do is just open up some of the other ones that I've actually created. Maybe that might be the better way to do it. I'm not sure why it's not connecting to the server at this stage, but if I go across into some of the other ones that I've got, like for example, this one here was this was just this was made up of cat citizens, female cat citizens. These were what are they, starfaring and also voyagers. So these sort of went further afield. These were cunning and agile, striking swiftly and retreating before enemies can react. Got this guy here. This was a traders collective. So these were crime lords and traders. So you get a very, very different feel. That GALCIV 3 never had any of this. So it's one of these things where the combination of those two factors, when they combine across, just give you such a different feel for every single faction that you create. This one here is a Tin Stellar Union. These were empathetic cybernetics. These use cyborgs. So we've got sort of like cyborgs in through here, and again, even these are all AI generated. Everything that sort of is done through here. This one here is devout warriors. This was the Emperor's faithful legion. I think, but at that stage, I may have been someone said, "Oh, can we create essentially a Space Marines faction?" So that was just using traditionalism was their cultural focus, humanoids, but warrior with devout. Essentially going back in through here. This one here was a imperial ascendancy. Devoted. These were adaptable warriors again, so something a bit similar in through there. But you've got so much scope, like with the way it sort of does work. Getting this was sort of using Snathi, which are from GALCIV 3, which I didn't like in GALCIV 3, but I like them in this one. These were Iron Fist Dominion. These were Slavers and Vigilant. So there's just so many different ways of playing the game. And this then really does impact dramatically the way that you actually have what technologies you have, what buildings you have, the approach you have, what's important, what's not important. It all really, really makes a massive difference with the way the game is being played. Unfortunately, in the game we're playing, we haven't really come across anything we can sort of interact with easily. But if you go back down to the originals, for example, like, they've now got the Nyx is a new one that's come in. But if we go back to, like, this is the Korath clan, which I think came in GALCIV 3. So this is the group of former Drengan warriors. So they've got them as well. These have got, but again, they've been enhanced because these are now exterminators with genocidal, which again, this was not part of what GALACTIC 3 had. So things get fleshed out incredibly much more than what it was before. Like just the basic humans are voyagers and inspired. So fairly sort of basic, fairly easy to use these ones. But the scope you have is just phenomenal. And so I'm not sure what we actually have. Excuse me, with the I don't know why I can't go and create one at this stage. That's the first time I've actually had that problem. But I'm assuming it just can't get back to the server for whatever reason, because it does generate that from the Stardock server. I'll give it one last go. So I'll just put in random stuff here. No, it still won't do it. Generate, yeah, so use an authenticator. I'm not sure why that's saying that, but it looks like it's sort of, for some reason, it's just not recognizing me. But I haven't had that one before, so that's a new one to me. Anyway, we'll just go back and load in our game. I'll see if I've got any old ones that where I could sort of show where it was. Just see where these are fairly old now. Yeah, some of these are fairly old. Don't know if this will work. Just let me load in. I'm not sure who we're playing as with this one here, but it'll just give a bit of an idea as to the difference, I guess. Yeah, so Junanand is saying that's incredible. It expands the scope of the start. Yes, it does. It really, really does. And then you've got... okay, so we've got in through here pretty... This one, I'm not sure who we're playing as with this. Let's have a quick look. This is the Glendorian Concordant. This is another one that I had created. And so these are pacifists. So these have got pacifism as the cultural focus. Now, they're also vigilant and certain. So in this case, these are resourceful and expansion of species, employs cunning tactics to advance their influence while maintaining a defensive stance. So this is just a random one that was created, but they're vigilant, and so they end up with all sorts of different techs. Starbases have larger area of effect, so they're better with starbases, and they're certain as well. So it believes their philosophy should be universal. So they actually have their influence growth is also fairly high. So and then using these Glendorian citizens, they're aloof, yeah, blah blah blah. So it's pretty cool the way it sort of does work. So the civilization traits were sort of something that was around in GALACTIC 3 to a degree. So that's similar, but this civilization ability is just unbelievable. The difference that actually does make. And so these are humanoids back in through here. In terms of, there was a question before about diplomacy. I'm not even sure if I've actually met people in this one. If I go to, this one's, I've got more things sort of unlocked in this one here. There's diplomacy there. So I've got a few different diplomacy things actually happening in through here. The way this one works, which is actually, again, works fairly well, is it shows you very, very quickly where you are in the diplomatic scale of things. So in this case, we're moving from neutral towards positive in nearly all the cases. We're just neutral here with the Drengan Empire. And so we can see exactly what is actually impacting the diplomacy. So in this case, we're trading with each other. Your skill in diplomacy, we've got a +1. Your peacekeeping, we've got +2 in through there. Cultural differences, with something like the Drengan, you're always going to have that. You have artifacts, they don't like that as well. We refuse one of their trade offers. So in that case, we don't have anything going positive or negatively with us. For the Taurians, you can see there the only one we have as a negative there is just the cultural differences. But we actually have given them access and so on and so forth. So we're becoming friendly with them, which means we're going to be able to trade more easily with them. For the Arceans as well, they don't like the fact that we've got artifacts, but they've got other things. And then this one here as well doesn't like that we've got artifacts, but everything else is going pretty well with what's actually going on. If you look at the diplomacy graph, this again is sort of fairly similar to what we've seen before. But in this case, we can sort of have a look to see, what the connection is between different empires, how they're operating. So you can see there we've got like a trade network set up between these different groups. The Cosmic Rebels was a group that I think I may have created, I believe. But that sort of just gives a bit of a show of the. This is a game where I'm playing more diplomatically than anything else. It's been fairly well fleshed out. We haven't gone anywhere else other than this one sector. May have just played this in a single sector actually, but this one just gives you a bit more of a scope of what's going on in the actual game itself, which is pretty cool. So this would be all of our location back and through there. If I just go back and load another game. So when was that one? That was further back. That was that one there. That was a long way back. I'll just, yeah, this is how many hours into the game it actually is. I'll just load this one in. There was a question actually last time whether you can keep on, whether the game makes you restart each time, and it looks like it's actually still, it's actually loading in these very, very old games, which is pretty cool. In this case, again, we've got a, oh, that's the same game. Okay, that was from some time before that. Let's go and load that one in. This one here, we played up to 11 hours. No, this one here, 15 hours. Let's just be fairly deep into the game. Yeah, this is very old, this particular game. So I'm not sure if this will even load. And so this one is, it looks like we are playing with those felines in this particular one. If we have a look at the data banks, yeah, this is that feline one that we first had a look at, the Starfaring Voyagers. If we have a look at diplomacy in through here, you're sort of seeing a lot of different sort of factions in through this other side as well. These would have been randomly brought in. You can see there that we've got a much more dislike happening. People don't like us very much, other than this group of Snathy Revenge, which gets triggered by an event, I think, in this particular game from memory. But we're doing well in terms of what we've got through here. But there's another sector over here as well. So there's multiple sectors you can actually have in the setup. The setup is, this is what I mean, like the game is got so much more in it than what GALCIV 3 actually had, even just in terms of the empires. The empires are much more immersive when you do play them. In this case, we're trying to squeeze out the Drengen. So yeah, but this is this has been going for quite some time. So we're looking at 116 turns there. If we go back to our game, oh, by the way, did you notice also? Just cancel that. See how the whole screen has changed to reflect the group that we're playing. So we've got the pink in through here, for example. If I go and load the game that we're currently playing, it will then change the user interface to coincide with the new look, which we're using more of a grey. And so we're 35 turns in at this stage. So we're still we're still trying to build, and we're only really just scratched the surface here. This is too big, actually. This is way too big, because we're not going to it's going to take us a while. I probably won't. I mean, I've got to go in about half an hour, and I don't think we're going to come and meet anyone else in this one, unfortunately. So we're still in the growth phase of what we're trying to do here. Duran saying, "Oh, that's incredible. Spans the scope as a start incredibly." Thank you for the. Yeah, no, it really does. So that is just one example, but the fact also, this is the first GALCIV game with a dedicated team of developers working on it all the time. So that's actually always happening in the game, and also it's the it's everything that they look at. They've really had a good look at the user experience, and they try to get rid of anything that is superfluous to having a good time with the game. And so they have streamlined a lot of stuff. They've come up with a lot of different, quite unique ways of, like we saw there before, even with the leaders, like the use of the leaders, and then using them as governors for your worlds, which means that you can actually have core worlds or just colonies. You've got a choice, which is very, very cool in terms of micromanagement. So they've done a great job of this game. Anyway, let's continue on. So now what have we got here? This is another constructor. Now we're going to end up, excuse me, over here, but we have another situation out here. So I'm going to move this one further out as well, to see if we can sort of get another. Like, I don't think we're going to be able to get both of those but we'll see if we can. So we'll colonize this one. So upon landing on Grumium 3, you quickly realize that it's been inhabited before. Beneath the northern ice, explorers have found a ruined starship with an active leaching field module that will reduce the shield strength of enemy ships in battle. Your colonists believe that they can extract the module, but the resulting melt will flood much of the arable land on the planet. The climate change will kill most of the unique native species. What are your orders? So we can leave the ship buried. So we get +2 tiles. Pacifism goes up. Stand aside. Set land aside for the native species. So we get pacifism. I'm not interested in pacifism playing as this particular group. So there's too much life. So this one, egalitarianism is increased to 1. We end up with less. We get a free leaching field ship upgrade. This is one of these weird ones where I don't want any of them, but I do want the extra tiles. So I'm going to go that way. I'm just going to leave it buried, because we're not going to really make good use of it. That's then is going to then push our orbits around a little bit further than what we were before. So we're now in the center of the galaxy, and this is what, like, if we have a look at this, look at the the governors. So the Grumium 3 is a planet that is just a colony, and the colony is feeding all of this stuff back to our home world. So it's going all the way back to here. And so if we have a look at Furnace Prime and have a look at what it's actually now building, it's getting a little bit, it's getting 0.1 from Grumium 3 in terms of mineral input. If we just focus on mineral input, that's probably the easiest one to have a look at. So we're getting 0.1 there, because all of that is rusting away. When we have a look at it, the mineral input here is 3. So it's only a small fraction of what's coming back to the actual world. So this is one that we definitely do want to have as a core world, as one that's got a governor on it. So we need to get a governor for the world. So we've got enough money to go and get somebody. So let's just go back to our people here. In terms of working, the main working one is diligence. Social is not really all that important to me. But that one there is disloyal, this one as well. This one here has got better. This one's better all the way around. So it's got good loyalty. So you can be hired, and then we just go across the governors, and now we don't have to do anything with that world if we don't want to. We can just leave it to be a feeder world, to help with the other construction. But if I go and settle this one and bring EHOOK 2874 onto it, he then becomes the governor of that world. And so we can then sort of go into the actual world itself, and it now becomes a core world. So it's its own entity. And if we go and have a look at it, it's class 31, which is good. So this is a jungle world where we actually do have a fair bit of manufacturing bonuses, which is great. So this is going to become a manufacturing world. This is where we end up with a lot of different choices. Now, the first thing we have is, and there's a question before about where do you start by trying, it's overwhelming to try to figure out where to place your buildings. Now, you will always have, you'll have a core world capital, and this one doesn't cost anything to build. So you can see a construction cost is 0. And with that means you can place it anywhere you like. You can also place it, have a look at it, and destroy it, and then place it again, if you wanted to, or within the same turn. So don't feel that you're constrained to it. The thing I like to do with this one is, when you have a look at what this one does, it's got a population cap of +1, and the bonus per level is also another population cap of +1. So if you can find population bonus locations, you pretty much want to grab them. Like this is 3 to food. I could see any other population there. If I go and grab that and start to drag it in, I'm not seeing any +1s. So it really doesn't matter from a population perspective. I get +1 population, which gives me up to 4 population. So it's not going to be fantastic. The the next thing we have is the thing it does actually have is it's got gross income per level, but it gives me +1 level to everything around it as well. So I then can start to think, okay, well, what do I want to be building? Like, what's going to give me the bonuses that I'm going to be needing? So we've got the precursor security monitor. This one is going to not really be of any great use to us. So adjacency bonuses to research. This one here is a coordination beacon. It's going to give me influence. This one here gives me a +3 population cap as a base effect, which is actually good. That would be good to have next to the other one. Manufacturing goes up, bonus per level. So that would be an interesting one to have a look at. So, but when I have a look at it there, I'm not seeing any actual bonuses to it. If it was right next to this one, it would. So if I built that one and then built this one next to it, we then get the bonus. We get bonus levels around it. So base effect is actually very, very good with this one, the central nexus. So it's worth getting that one because we get extra manufacturing as well. These are the ones we're not going to worry too much about just yet, but then we come back down to the geranium scanner we don't need. The beacon this is more research. Again, we don't really need that one. Yeah, we need shipyards to get these starports. So we need to have shipyards in around to get starports. We are going to be needing to do that. But really, we don't have a real lot of choice here. So with what we can do, we're really looking at getting the central hub built next to the core world capital, and then from there we're going to be then looking at things, for example, like manufacturing districts and things like that. Now, there's a lot of manufacturing districts in through here. We don't get a +1 to wealth. I don't really worry too much about it. This one here, we're just not really going to get much at all. Gross income goes up slightly. Like if I went there, it's going to be slightly more. Actually, even that doesn't help me. So there's no real benefit with wherever I place anything. So now it's just going to be where do I want to get the most extras. This one is going to give me extra approval, research, manufacturing, wealth. That one's giant mushrooms, but I'd like to be in the center to get the bonuses. I can always build something else in through there. That's food. Food is not important to me because we're robots. We do have 3 manufacturing there, but I'm then going to have to try to build 2 other things around it if I built in the planes. So I don't really get a massive bonus from that one through there. I think I just go in the middle here somewhere, you know. Just go in there and go manufacturing all the way around. That wetlands is -1 to manufacturing. That's interesting. That one there does give me manufacturing, gives me approval, research, but I can just go purely manufacturing from there. The wetlands is a problem. So I think I'm just going to drag this one into here. So with that one then constructed, I've still now got to construct something else. So it's this other one now. It's the central hub. And now I'm getting a +1 from this one into here. The central hub, actually the central hub is going to give me manufacturing of +1. And then the adjacency is +1 to level to all as well. I'll just go there so we start to sort of move down through there. It's going to be 8 turns to build that one. I'll just leave that one where that is. We can rush it, of course. But that's so that now is just set up the start of what we're doing. So this will ultimately become a manufacturing world. You can see we can now pick up manufacturing districts. So it could even sort of start to now build those in around in those 2 locations. So it can start to queue things up just to get even more manufacturing. And we will be wanting to build a spaceport here as well. So that will be important. This will be very important for this one. So if we go back out into the actual world itself and see what else we can build in through here. Atmospheric cleanser does not really worry us at all. Actually we should be able to do it from here. So down the bottom through here we've got manufacture population, economic stimulus, produce modules, build shipyard at the top there. Just go and throw that one in. May even make that one go in after that one there, I think. It is important to get these in each world, and we haven't done that with all of our worlds. So we go to Furnace Prime, we do actually have it, but we don't have a shipyard here for this one, and I will actually pop that in there. Probably actually put that in front of this neural matrix. So we'll just get that one done. And so it will then start to build its own spaceport. and that will then allow us to build, sorry, back over here. So that will be starting to build a spaceport now back in through there as well, to allow us to then build other things. All right, how are we going here? So we've got both of those. We'll just go and construct this one. Mining starbase. It's our first thulium mine. And we'll get mining drones here as well. We've got orbital resource harvesting. Okay, that's good. We'll just go to new tech. So we'll get these done and then we'll come back to the starbase. Economic development. Yeah, this one here gives us the technological capital. That's what we definitely want, that one. So we're going to go that way. Click on done. And in through here, we're just going to get mining drones. A Techopod mining unit. In addition to our standard mining abilities, we can also extend them using Techopods. Now, we don't actually have any Techopod hives. If we can find those, we can then sort of start to build other things. So that gives us that little location there. We've got the other one which we are coming out this way to build as well. We're still on the way. So it's moving out. You can see there that with the expansion, we're now getting further and further afield with what we can then go and do. Okay, so Clancy Swain is saying, if I bought the base game and one DLC, which DLC would you recommend? Warlords. Easy. Hang on, I'll show you. Yeah, so I would definitely get Warlords as the one to get that one. And I can't really sort of show that until we sort of get further into the game, unfortunately, because what this one does is there's not too many in through here. But some of these just add, like the species pack and the Tales of Centauran. These add species to, like, if you're wanting to get more different species into the creation aspect of civilizations, and then that's for those. Tales of Centauran is, I forget what this one actually does provide, but Warlords. If you have a look at this one here, this one provides a unleashed unparalleled strategic depth and tactical flexibility with the Warlords expansion. What this one does is it gives you war aims, invasion tactics, enhanced ship types and classes. It sort of, what it does is it gives you multiple ways to build your ships for combat, and also different ways of then constructing fleets as well. So it sort of it allows the and I can't really show it at this stage because we don't have enough ships to go and build an actual fleet. What we could do, no, I don't think I can do it. It's when you go, like if we go into, one thing we haven't shown actually is the ship designer. So we can go to the ship designer a few different ways. But if we go into, for example, here and go into the ship designer, when you choose an actual a starport or spaceport, you can then go and open up the ship designer from here, which will then allow you to then bring it in. And this is where the Warlords DLC kicks in. Is it gives you different doctrines for the ship classes. So you've got different, like if we go into, for example, to frigates. Frigate is corvette is also a small combat ship. These are both. So the various classes of ships that we can go and build will then change with what we actually end up having. So if we go into like a frigate, we unlock the frigate class, but that also gives us the corvette. And so you can see through here, this one, the frigate has 25% base accuracy. The corvette has 25% hit points. And if I go and click on these, they've got different sorts of things. So if I go to set the doctrine for this particular corvette that we wanting to build, and so you'll see that most of the stuff is the same: the hull integrity, the size, the equipment space, tactical speed, acceleration, and class type. If I go to corvette, we're going to see exactly the same thing for the actual hull itself, because it's the same hull. What we then have is doctrines. Now, if you don't have the Warlords DLC, you still get all this in the game. This is introduced to the game. So you get these basic things where you don't get to change them. But if you do have the Warlords DLC, you can go and edit what this ship will then go and do. So you can make the ships more purpose-built. And so, which is, again, much more than what any other GalCiv game has allowed us to do. And this is for the auto battler. So it's essentially a way of programming how you want the auto battler to work. So you do have to think a little bit ahead when you start to design your ships as to what you want them to go for. If we end up with, for example, initially this one here has got targeting priorities going from dreadnought to battleship to destroyer to cruiser, is sort of the way it will then sort of go and work. So it's working its way down from the largest to the smallest. The frigate is going from the bombers, the corvettes, the destroyers, and the battleships. And so this particular one is more about killing off small craft. So it's going from going from the small crafts like the bombers in this case, the corvettes, the destroyers, and then the battleships. So it's moving its way up, and it's sort of more of the class that it's sort of looking for. But I can go and edit this doctrine, and so what I can do through here is I can change its operational abilities. So so I can do a lot with this. And so the ship type is a frigate in this case, but it's got the operational ability as the defender by default. But it can be giant slayer. So this is plus 50% accuracy against fighters and bombers. So this one is purpose built to go after bombers. So this is fine for a frigate. So you've got this one, and I'm pretty sure you get both the corvettes and the frigates in the base game. I'm not sure if it only keeps you to frigates. It may do that. I can't remember exactly, but you also can't change the actual doctrine. Whereas I can change a frigate class or a frigate design to be different. I can actually have it with it's got better tactical speed, barrage, like less weapon cooldown, assassin, so plus 50 attack, plus 25% weapon cooldown. So it ends up with this one here. It takes longer to shoot, but does more damage. Giant Slayer, so plus 50% attack against large and huge hull ships. So again, you can sort of chop and change them, and you can chop and change them. So you can design different ships, like assassin ships. For example, you could say, okay, look, I'm going to build myself an assassin based on the frigate. It's targeting priorities, so it's going to go after, which one should we do? Should we go after, so for example, other gunships would be the one it would then go for. And so I could actually then go and save that doctrine if I wanted to. And then just have that as an assassin ship. So save the doctrine, comes back through, and so we've now got a frigate assassin that we can then go and build, and so we can start a new design based on that particular doctrine if we wanted to. So so the targeting priorities would then be frigate, corvette, cruiser, destroyer as an assassin. So that's sort of how we can chop and change things. This is for the Warlords DLC, which does give you more scope with when the auto battler then sort of gets going. So yeah, StarTactic was saying always get all the DLC always. Well, the other really good one as well, like if that's not really sort of any great interest, if I just go back out, I think one thing I haven't tested is if I exit all of this, just go back in again, I'll just make sure that the frigate wasn't then changed over. Yeah, no, it's still staying with what it has as its default. It's only if I start a new design, I would then have that doctrine for the new design, which is good. The other DLC, which we haven't got to yet, which is really worth getting, I think. So that's the Warlords, which I really, Warlords for me was great. I loved it. This next one is very good as well, which is Megastructures. Now, Megastructures isn't on special at this stage. This one only came out in December. Megastructures adds in a whole lot of other big things you can go and build in the actual game itself. So you've got different Dyson spheres, and you can start to really build up massive areas. So if your focus is more on combat, go for Warlords. If your focus is more on trying to build big structures, then go for Megastructures as a second DLC. But they're the two big DLCs that came for the game. The Megastructures, what else do they have? Yeah, they've got lots of stuff in here. This is actually, if we go back to our game, we can then sort of see it in the sense that in our technology tree, if we have a quick look, the Tech Navigator, and if we have a look at, might be under logistics, I think. No, it's not logistics, science. You'll see that there's little things that get added in as well. God of the Machine. This has been added in because we're synthetic. So the tech tree is fairly dynamic. Must be engineering. Yeah, here we go. We haven't got to this one yet, but we have gigamass theory. I'm just going to go for a drink of water. Be right back. Yeah, so if you have the excuse me, if you have the megastructures DLC, you'll end up with this area in your tech tree. Gigamass theory allows you to begin detecting and using naturally occurring hyperdense materials. So it gives you a different. You can use it's a new resource that comes into the game, and then you've got harvesting. You can harvest the ships to go and eat planets, and get the gigamass from old planets. Stellar architecture. This one allows you to build Dyson spheres, and then from Dyson spheres you then end up getting all sorts of different unlocks as well. There's heaps of stuff that you end up unlocking. Mega structures back and through here, stellar gateways, rim worlds, nexus augments and stuff like this. There's lots and lots. You can see there's heaps of stuff down through there. And so that's really what comes with the with mega structures. And so you start to build these amazing gateways, etc., like in the actual game itself. And so you then need to have these harvester ships that go around eating dead worlds. And so if we go back to our actual game and have a look at some of the worlds that we actually have, like these worlds which were always useless in all the other games, have now got gigamass. And so these are dead worlds, but they can be harvested. And so you can actually eat the gigamass from them. This one's only got 5. This one's here's got 10, and so you get that gigamass, and then you can use that gigamass to then go and build massive structures in space. So it's an interesting way of sort of enhancing the game, and but for me, Warlords was the big one, like just in terms of the scope of what you can then do strategically in the game. Let's move it forward. I do have to get going actually fairly soon, guys. It's a shame we didn't actually come across any other empires, unfortunately. I'm sort of tempted to start another series actually with but using something a bit more humanoid, because one thing I didn't think about really when I started this one was just how different it is to play as a synthetic faction. Like the actual buildings are all very, very different than what we would normally be playing as. There's so many different ways to play this game. But really I think for people that are trying to make up their mind, a humanoid is probably the best way to look at the game, to get a feel. In fact, what I might do before I do go is I will just save this again. And I will go back to that other one that we had open, and I'll just see if I can see differences in the way the planets are shown. If I go and load the game, that was this one here from back in November. Yeah, so this is where we are. So if we have a look at some of our worlds, and you can sort again. There's so much. The user interface in this game is extremely good. This is sort of like a summary of the actual different factions and their power, the planets, like our core worlds, for example. We can sort of see them in through there as well. And I've been naming these like there's a ruined ring world. I'm not sure what that one was. That would have been something we would have. Yeah, it remains of an ancient precursor megastructure. That would have been when megastructures came out, I guess. Actually, no, that came out earlier. No, later. Yeah, no, that would be it. Yes, so it's a ruined ring world in there somewhere. So this is like one of the megastructure worlds that we've now got as one of our core worlds. If we go and have a look at this particular world, and so we've got our world in here that we are building research centres in. So the maintenance costs, you can see our maintenance here is terrible. And that's because we are building all these different things that are costing us maintenance, which is a problem. And I'm normally really bad with this, and I was going to be very mindful this time of not building too many things that we're going to chew up maintenance. But in this case, the different sorts of ones that we have, supply depots. These are sort of more stock standard, solar farms. Other stuff's not really sort of showing in there so much. Planetary mainframes. So yeah, some of these are just cross Promethean. These are much more intuitive, I guess, than the ones that we're playing with in our actual game. Can't really sort of show them there so much. There's science world there. Yeah, so this will all be costing a lot. You can see there the capital mainframe, which is giving +3 level to research and as adjacencies, which is then making these researchers go to level 5. So we've got lots and lots of research happening in around these particular locations. We've had to keep food going as well because we've got to feed the populations. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the game. It's an incredibly rich and deep game with what you can do in it. But I do actually have to get going, sorry guys. So I will have to call it quits here. Sorry about my voice giving out, but anyway, that's unfortunately we didn't really get to meet the other faction in our area of space. But it's a great little game. I'll excuse me. I'll catch you hopefully tomorrow. Actually, I'll see how I go. Just have to see how my voice holds out. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.